Bum ba da bum 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 ba da bum 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 bum. What's up, y'all? Philyfli show checking in here, kicking it at Right Way Production Studios. Looking outside, still got light outside, so it's starting to get to that time of year where we get longer days, and while I have these morning shifts, that's gonna be a little different. I'll probably be going to bed when there's still light outside, but yeah. What's up, y'all? How last week treat you? Did you watch Islam Makhachev versus Bobby Green? Because, to be honest with you, I waited until the fight was over, and I think I got home probably about an hour after all the fights were over, and that's when I went through and watched certain fights, and I kind of ran through it last week, kind of slacked off, and yeah. Same thing with this week. That's why the show is kind of coming out late. Sorry about that. Got caught up on Thursday trying a new second job, so I'm technically got 3 little gigs that I'm doing if you count this little podcast hosting. I count this as a little bit of a job. It's not like it's like, since I'm doing it for fun, it's more of a hobby until, I make it a little bigger. But till then, we're starting out. We're still sitting here basic, and we're still with the black screen, but hopefully soon here I can invest into some better material so I can either do live stream or get up some like a PowerPoint or something, something a little more visualizing to help my speaking here. Yeah, anyway, so we're going to jump into last week quick because we do have a pay-per-view this week. It is a pay-per-view with no title fight, so I'm afraid for the buys. I know that it's Colby Covington versus Jorge Masvidal, which Jorge's a big, big draw, whereas Colby's not such a big draw, but Colby is one of the top-ranked fighters. I just think his fake persona just throws everyone off like me and a lot of people who I just can't bet on the guy. Like, I guess there were certain fights I'd bet on him with, like when he fought Damian Maia and a couple of those other ones. Yeah, I would have bet on him, but now I can't just because it's just bad. He's just, ugh. So that we'll get into that. But UFC fight night last week was Islam Makhachev versus Bobby Green. Obviously, we know Islam won pretty convincingly. It was not a good thing for Bobby Green to step up into that fight. It really doesn't tarnish his last 5-6 fights. Doesn't tarnish what he's built because stepping in the fight that animal is crazy. But we all know Bobby Green is, not. Bobby Green can do it if he keeps going up his trajectory upward to get up and knock out one of these guys, but it wasn't going to be Islam in a week's notice or 10 days notice. Match like number 11 was Victor Altrareno versus Carlos Hernandez, and first fight of the night was wrong for me, unfortunately. This was my first screw up of the year, and it wasn't even that bad. It was 6 for 11, so we didn't start out tonight in that flyweight division well, but hey, it's the betting game. That's how it works. Sports gambling does not always go your way. Match like number 10 was Ramir Bamaha versus Michael Gilmore. That was a pretty good submission there, so give it to him there, and I got that one right. Match like number 9 was Alejandro Perez versus Jonathan Martinez, and that was a very, very, very good fight. I did watch that whole fight and was very convinced. Now I'm going to toot my own horn here because number 8 was Terrence McKinney versus Fares Ziam. And, dude, I did not know that Terrence McKinney, for one, was a good grappler at that level. I knew he was a good grappler, but not to the level that he showed in that lightweight fight. Fares Ziam, yeah, you're a great kickboxer, great striker, and you're dangerous as all hell, but hey. When you got to be more well-rounded than that, so that's where his weakness is going to be, and that's where people are going to try to exploit from now on. So watch when you bet on Fares Ziam. Hopefully he's going against a striker, because he goes against another grappler right away. He is going to be in some deep water. Match like number 7, we got Josiana Nunez versus Romena Pascual, and Nunez put on the beating just like I thought she would. Got the unanimous decision. Next was Rong Zhu versus Ignacio Bahamudes, and Bahamudes put on a good performance there with the submission. So it was in the 3rd round, yes, but hey, he still got the submission. Now, this is where the trajectory for me went, and I literally got all the main card wrong besides the main event. Usually it's, the opposite. I get all the other parts of the main card right, but the main event. So sometimes it flips, sometimes it flops, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. But it was Armin Petrosyan versus Gregory Rodriguez, and Armin got the win. The next guy was named Armin Sarkugin versus Joel Alvarez, so a totally different fight. And I picked Joel Alvarez to win, and he got KO'd. So good. That was fight of the night. I'm pretty sure too. Those dudes went at it, and it was a war, just like I said. But I did not think Joel was gonna lose. Match like number 3, I picked Jian Kim, and she fought Priscilla Cachoeira, and Priscilla got the win. But man, I don't know, dude. That was a hard fight to judge. So I can't say it was a robbery, but I thought Jian Kim won personally. But again, I was biased. So don't listen to me that it was a robbery. It was a close fight, and sometimes in close fights, you think your fighter won, but they lost. Unfortunately, to the judges, you weren't the judge that night. Now there is been some wrong judging, so we could have seen that too. But I just thought it was a close fight. And then Misha Serkinov versus Wellington Turman. Okay, that one I got wrong for people badly, and I've watched Wellington Turman take some really bad shots and try to get into brawls and not use a submission to win. If your submission game is that sneaky and that good, why were you not using it in your other fights? Like, man, Misha taps so fast too. But again, there's been times where I've bet on Misha and failure on his end, and on Misha Tate, failure too on my last one. So the name Misha is now starting to stick with me. I'm not digging it. But Wellington Turman got the win, good for him, and I was wrong. That's the way cookie crumbles, like I said. And then I got the Islam one right, but that was really easy to get right. If I would have been down betting to get my odds down, even though it still would have been not as good, I would have had to pick a first round finish for Islam Makhachev. I think that was still like negative 450 or 500 or something. So that was crazy. He still got it, but hey, good week, or not the best week, but good week for fights to watch, just for something free. Parlays both failed miserably because, well, one failed just because of Rodriguez, but the other one failed miserably. All your cash person, you got your money cashed out, but if you listen to me on Misha Serkinov, sorry, $100 guy, but I failed you. Man. All right, jumping into this next week. Big pay-per-view, live pay-per-view, fans in the building. That'll be kind of cool. I forgot where it is. I guess I could Google it, but I don't really feel like it right now. Since I didn't prep for that. So UFC pay-per-view 272, Colby Covington versus Jorge Masvidal is the main event. It is a welterweight fight. Jorge did just cash in with the UFC on the third ever biggest payday contract in history. So you all probably know who number one is. Well, number one could have been passed now. No. He must be right behind Israel Adesanya, which is nuts, but just nuts. And then, dude, one of those fake persona things that I just read like a little bit ago and it popped in my mind. I'm going to throw it on this podcast, even though this gives dude more talk about. But Colby Covington's talking about moving up to middleweight and fighting Israel Adesanya. Dude, fight Izzy. Seriously, like, let that fight happen. I know it's a bad fight to say let happen, but we all just want to see Colby get knocked out, and I think Izzy'd be the perfect one to smash that dude's face in. Like, literally. That'd be awesome. I just thought of that, and it popped in my mind, and we're all going to talk about it for a quick second. And then we're going to backtrack a little bit here to the first fight of the night, which is match leg number 13. Light heavyweight division, we got Dustin Jacoby versus Mikhail Oskowitz. Hey, this is for a fight to start out the night, and out of all the fights on here, you did not have to put this fight first. But you did to make it a banger right from the start. Don't miss this fight on the early prelims. Honestly, this could have been all your cash money too, guy, because I didn't. It's Dustin Jacoby. That dude's got such a good skill set. The reason it's a little scary is because Mikel can take shots and deliver them just as powerful as anybody else. So Dustin Jacoby is a negative 200, whereas Mikel is a plus 170. You go what way you want on there. I know which way I'm going. I'm going Dustin with that skill set. Even if he loses, still think he's the better fighter. Sometimes you're just not at that level yet, and maybe Mikel's trajectory is upward. 3 out of 5 on my confidence level that Dustin Jacoby gets the job done with a W. I won't say a knockout or anything, but gets the job done with a W. One of the things, reason why I'm going Dustin is because Dustin throws so hard, and Mikel likes to kind of take one to give one. So that's one of the downfalls on Mikel's end. But sometimes he takes them and he gives them, and you're nighty-night. All right. Match like number 12, we got Devontae Smith versus Ludovic Klein. Lightweight division, like I said. Negative 150 on Devontae Smith. Ludovic Klein is a plus 125. That is still a good fight to bet on, too. Devontae Smith has come up short in a couple of his more premier fights, but Ludovic Klein's no slouch, so it's more of a premier fight for him. But like I said, he's come up short. But I'm going Devontae Smith. I just think he's got the way better skill set on that one. 3 out of 5 on the confidence level there. All right, match like number 11 is Tim Elliott versus Tagir Ulanbekov, which is a flyweight fight. If you didn't know who Tim Elliott is, UFC vet, but he the way he's been getting the job done lately against some of these up and coming fighters, he just gets one by, gets a submission on him, gets whatever, I think he had one good knockout against somebody, I can't remember, but he can still pull it off. But Tagir Ulanbekov has got such a good skill set that I am going with him. Tagir is a negative 240 favorite, whereas Tim Elliott's a plus 200. This is one where you could go Tim Elliott on a one of those DraftKings, daily sports fantasy thing, just to see if you can if he pulls off the win. Not everybody's going to be going for him, and he'll be lower money, so you can get some of the bigger money guys up there. That's the route I'd go, but there's another guy on here that you can listen to that I think is going to have a nice time too. Jump into match like number 10. We'll kind of say, Brian Keller, I love the guy. Supposedly he's going in there with a Ukrainian flag, and he's going to walk out of there representing it over Umar just because the guy's Russian. I don't like him taking it on Umar just because the guy's Russian and all this. I mean, I get all the stuff that's going on, but hey, we're all in this fight game together. We're not here, to make super enemies like that. I just didn't like it. But again, I'm not super patriotic like that. Like, I'm patriotic where I like my country, but not in that, kind of sense of what he's trying to put off. But Brian Keller, featherweight fight versus Umar Nurmagomedov. Umar is a negative 700 favorite, whereas Brian Keller is a plus 500. That's the other reason why I put this fight at a different confidence. I would put it at a 4 or 5, but because of him kind of taking that route of his, the way he wants to talk, I just can't. I just know. No. I'm going Umar with that negative 700. 3 out of 5 on the confidence level there. Match like number 9 is Mariana Moyes versus Miria Akapova. Flyweight fight. Moros is a plus 155, whereas Akapova is a negative 180. I went Akapova. I know I put confidence 1 out of 5, but after remembering who she is, I think she's got a nice skill set. But so does Morozo, so it should be a good female fight. I don't remember. Oh no, there's one more female fight right after this next fight. Well, we'll jump into match like number 8, whereas it is Nikolai Negromeno versus Kennedy Zajoku. Now, Zajoku's gotten 2 good wins in his last fights, but that dude takes shots. Now, if you remember who Nikolai Nurmagomedov is, that dude hits so hard for this light heavyweight division. He's one of the scarier fighters that's coming up in this division, so I'm expecting him to pull off the win. So I got Nikolai with that plus 120, whereas Kennedy is a negative 140. 3 out of 5 on my confidence level that we get the job done with Nikolai there. I've been actually doing pretty good on these underdog picks. Got a couple wrong in the last couple weeks, but I think this underdog's got, I don't know why, just because he's got the more length, Kennedy's got the more length, I don't see it happening. Jump into a strawweight bout here with Mariana Rodriguez versus Yan Zhang. Now, Yan Zhang is a good strawweight contender, but she showed her that where her weaknesses is against another good striker because she just likes to get into a war. And you don't want to get into a war with Mariana Rodriguez. Mariana Rodriguez is a negative 270 favorite, whereas Yan is a plus 220. I'm going Mariana because she is a killer with the striking. And I don't know if Jan's going to be able to put up with it. 4 out of 5 on my confidence level there. All right. Featured prelim bout of the night is a banger. And when I mean a banger, but I also mean I'm not touching this on a betting line. Look, Jalen Turner is the spider or whatever he is. He's crazy, dude. Then you got Jamie Malarkey, who is dude can fight. They both can fight. Lightweight fight. Do not want to miss this fight because it's a banger. Jalen Turner's a negative 155 favorite, whereas Jamie is a plus 130 underdog. I went 2 out of 5 on confidence level here on Jalen Turner just because he looks like the better fighter on paper and on stat sheets and all that, but Jamie Malarkey is no slouch, so good fight to watch there. We jump into the main card of the evening. Starts out with a heavyweight bout between Sergey Spivak and Greg Hardy. You know me and Greg Hardy and how he lost me some money. I am not betting on Greg Hardy. I never bet on Greg Hardy anymore. I am going Sergey Spivak. I am going Sergey Spivak big because he is a negative 195 favorite, whereas Greg's a plus 165. But Spivak is great on the ground. Decent hands, but good power in those hands. And Greg Hardy, just for whatever reason, man, I don't know if he's just not working on a skill set or he just can't get there, but he just doesn't pull it off. I'm going Spivak all day just because he'll be taking him down and beating him down and wearing out Greg Hardy in a 3-round fight with ease, I feel like. Match leg number 4, we get good old Kevin Holland versus Alex Oliveira, and clap, 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 clap. I cannot believe Kevin Holland got down to welterweight. I think after looking, though, I did see that he did fight at welterweight, maybe his last fight, but I don't know if it was his last fight, but he finally got down to welterweight. I'm glad to see him here, and I'm glad to see him against a guy like Alex Oliveira, which is not a slouchy guy. Good name to get a good win off of. Negative 340 favorite for Kevin Holland, plus 270 for Alex Oliveira. Alex Oliveira is a good UFC old school fighter. Cowboy Oliveira is what they call him. I'm going Kevin Holland, though. I just think that him at 170 is more dangerous than him at 185 at middleweight. I just thought he was too small for that. So it's good to see him down at 170. 2 out of 5 on the confidence level there, though, just because Cowboy is a UFC vet, like I said, and he can get the job done. All right, match like number 3 is what we call another banger, but in a different way, okay? We could see Bryce, well, here, we'll say who it is. Edson Barboza versus Bryce Mitchell, featherweight fight. Bryce Mitchell is got some crazy just submission grappling skill set, but he also just can brawl. He is just a brawler. Then you get Edson Barboza, who's just a skill set, great striker, and where he's lacked a bit is in the grappling. So that's why the odds favor Bryce, but Bryce is also a killer with his camo shorts. We got Edson with a plus 130 underdog, Bryce 155 favorite. This is a Bryce house here. This is an Edson house here. It didn't come down to a coin flip, I wanted to say, but I chose Bryce. I think he's going to try to wear out Edson in a 3-round fight, even though Edson's got some crazy, crazy fights in 3 rounds too. So do not sleep on this fight. Make sure you watch this one. I mean, if you buy the pay-per-view, I hope you watch this because you got to get your money's worth. 3 out of 5 on the confidence level that Bryce Mitchell gets the dub there. We go to the co-main event of the evening. Rafael Dos Anjos versus Rene Moicano. Supposed to be Rafael's fight back at 155. But his fight fell off with Rafael's Fiziev or Rafael's Fiziev. I don't remember his first name right now. But they got Rene Moicano to step in. Catchweight butt, I think, is 160 or 165, one of the two. And Dos Anjos is a negative 180 favorite, whereas Moicano is a plus 155 underdog. It's a fight I don't like to bet on, even though I think Rafael Dos Anjos, since he put in more of a camp, will have the edge. But you don't know what Rene Moicano is going to show up, especially at that heavier weight, and how big that guy is compared to Rafael. And he did fight just recently in a good fight. So, hey, ready to see it, but I'm not betting on it. But if you put a gun to my head and I had to, I'm going Rafael Dos Anjos with a negative 180. And then we jump to the main event of the evening. Ooh, I kind of went too high there. But Colby Covington versus Jorge Masvidal. Now look, I gave it away in the beginning with what I was saying, so I kind of had to shut up. I don't bet on Colby Covington anymore. Like I said, Colby's a negative 330 favorite. Jorge's a plus 260 underdog. That's some disrespect on Jorge, man. Like, I get that Colby could just, take him down the whole fight, but I just don't see the way. So there's guys that have that it factor with that striking, okay? You can't sleep on them, for one. If you push the bull, you'll get the horns, right? And Colby, I just feel like, was pushing the bull. He's going to get the horns. And the way just Jorge was talking about it, just, I don't. If this goes 5 rounds, I don't know if I see Jorge winning that fight. If Jorge's striking is on like I think it's going to be, because dude was talking about his kids and man, that dude has that it factor. He put out a bigger guy than you in Darren Till at a welterweight too. I mean, man, dude, do not sleep on this fight either. I just see Jorge winning. I'm going Jorge 1 out of 5 on the confidence, just because Colby is a good fighter. But Colby also can get into his own head, I think. And he might have got into his own head with this one. I'm going Jorge with that plus 260. I don't know how much I'd put on it. I think Jorge wins. You don't talk about dude's kids like that, and the way he just was talking today when I saw it, that's what struck me as it's a Jorge fight, hopefully. He did, though, seem like he cut a lot of weight really fast, because he was a little out of it, but it's usually how you are when you cut weight and you're trying to rejuice. All right, going a little long here, so I'm going to jump into my quick parlays. They're each 3-leggers. First one would be Dustin Jacoby with that negative 200. Second one, I want to get the first name here. Tagir Ulenblanken with that negative 240 in that flyweight fight with Tim Elliott. And then Nikolai Nurmagomedov plus 120. So that bring you back some decent cash if you put that parlay down. And the next one is a risky one. Remember this. I'm going Agapova with that negative 180. Mariano Rodriguez with that negative 270, and Bryce Mitchell with his plus 1 or negative 155. $100 guy, risk your money on Devontae Smith. You'll get back $50 of drinking money when you're at the whatever casino you're at, dropping that $100 down. And then I'm going Sergey Spivak with that all your money, because I do not trust Greg Hardy to win another fight. Alrighty, y'all, unless it's some low-ranked people, but Sergey Spivak is no slouch in that heavyweight division. Alrighty, y'all. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Help me out there. And, start listening. Start sharing it with your friends if they want to make some extra cash when they go down to some sports betting things. If you go out to Vegas or anything, listen to my show. Or even, hit me up on my Twitter at Philyfli9, or hit me up on my Instagram at Philyfli9. Or it's Philyfli999. One of the two. hit me up there if you want some answers. If you ever got some betting things you need to know about, or you got something to talk about. Alrighty, y'all. Peace out.